Understanding the beginning, beloved one, listen carefully. Life begins with the mind, and the mind is like a small garden. Imagine a garden full of flowers, fruits, and vegetables. If you take care of it, it grows beautifully. But if you ignore it, weeds appear everywhere. Thoughts are like seeds. Some seeds are good, like love, joy, and curiosity. Some seeds are not so good, like fear, anger, or jealousy. If you plant the right seeds and water them, your mind will grow strong, peaceful, and happy. But if you let the wrong seeds take root, your mind will be full of confusion and sorrow. When I was a child, my mind was like a wild forest. Thoughts jumped everywhere like monkeys, playing and shouting. I remember sitting alone in the garden watching my own mind. I did not know how to control it. Sometimes I became angry at myself for thinking too much. Sometimes I became sad for no reason. But slowly I discovered a secret. The secret is simple. You do not have to fight your mind. You do not have to push it away. You only have to watch. Watching is very easy. Imagine you are sitting by a river. The water flows, carrying leaves, flowers, and sometimes trash. You do not grab the water. You do not stop it. You simply watch it move. Thoughts are like that river. They come, they go, they float. When you watch your thoughts quietly without judgment, something magical happens. The mind starts to become calm, like a lake with no waves. A calm mind is like a clear mirror. It shows everything exactly as it is. You can see the world clearly, and you can see yourself clearly. In the beginning, this may feel difficult. The mind is used to running fast, like a horse without a rider. But just as a horse can be trained gently, the mind can also learn. I practice this every day. I would sit in silence, even if it was just for a few minutes. I would notice my thoughts and I would let them go. Sometimes I laughed at my thoughts because they were so silly. Sometimes I cried because I understood something about myself that I had never seen before. This watching is not just for grown-ups. Even a small child can do it. When you learn to watch your thoughts, you learn to know yourself. And knowing yourself is the most important thing in life. Life may give you many gifts, friends, toys, nature, and laughter. But the greatest gift is understanding your own mind. Because when your mind is calm, everything becomes clear. You can see which seeds to plant, which ideas to follow, and which emotions to let go. This is the beginning of thinking correctly. This is the beginning of life itself. So start today. Sit quietly for a few minutes. Watch your thoughts as they flow like a gentle river. Smile at them. Learn to understand them. Do not fear them. Do not fight them. Just watch. And slowly, your mind will become a beautiful garden, ready for life to bloom in it, why thinking correctly matters. Beloved one, now we come to something very important. Thinking correctly is not just about being smart or knowing many things. It is about seeing life clearly, without the fog of fear, anger, or confusion. Think of your mind like a pair of glasses. If the glasses are clean, everything looks bright and clear. If the glasses are dirty, everything looks blurry and strange. Wrong thinking is like wearing dirty glasses. You see the world, but it is not really as it is. Correct thinking is like cleaning the glasses. Suddenly, the sun shines, the colors are brighter, and everything becomes easier to understand. Even a child can understand this. Imagine you put on red glasses. Everything you see looks red. The grass looks red, the sky looks red, your toys look red. But when you remove the glasses, you see the true colors. Green, blue, yellow, and so many beautiful shades. The same is true for your mind. When you have wrong thinking, your mind wears glasses of fear, anger, or doubt. You see yourself as weak or others as mean. You see problems as impossible and happiness as far away. But when you clean your mind, when you learn to think correctly, the world opens up. Suddenly, life seems simpler, easier, and more joyful. When I was young, I learned this slowly. I removed many glasses from my mind. I removed the glass of fear. I stopped thinking that life was dangerous. I removed the glass of judgment. I stopped thinking that people are either good or bad. I removed the glass of comparison. I stopped thinking that I had to be better than others. And I discovered something very beautiful. Life is simple. Life is gentle. Life wants you to grow, to laugh, to love, to be free. Thinking correctly is like planting seeds of clarity in your mind. Each correct thought is a small seed. Love, understanding, patience, and kindness are seeds. When you plant them in your mind, they grow into flowers. They grow into trees that give shade, fruit, and beauty. Wrong thoughts are like weeds. Jealousy, anger, fear, and doubt grow quickly if you water them. That is why watching your thoughts is the first step. When you watch your thoughts, you notice which seeds are growing and which weeds are taking root. Then you can choose. You can water the good seeds and let the weeds dry. A child can learn this easily. Even a small child can ask, is this thought helping me? Is it making me happy or sad? If it makes you sad, let it go. If it makes you happy, hold it gently. This is how you train your mind. This is how you begin to think correctly. Correct thinking changes everything. When you think correctly, you see the truth of yourself. You see the truth of others. You see the truth of life. You do not get lost in illusions or unnecessary fear. Life begins to feel simple, beautiful, and full of joy. And once you learn this skill, you can carry it with you always. It is the most precious gift you can give yourself. So remember, beloved one, thinking correctly is not about knowing many things. It is about seeing clearly, like removing the red glasses. It is about planting the right seeds in your mind. It is about letting life be simple, gentle, and joyful. This is the path to happiness. This is the way to understand yourself, how wrong thinking starts. Beloved one, now let us understand something very important. Wrong thinking is not a punishment, and it is not your fault. It is something that happens naturally when the mind is not trained. It is like a river that has no banks. The water flows everywhere, sometimes in the right direction, sometimes in a wrong direction. The mind flows the same way. If you do not guide it, it can take you to fear, sadness, and confusion. Wrong thinking begins when you believe everything your mind tells you without questioning it. Your mind can be very clever, like a magician. It will show you many illusions and tricks. It may say, you are not good enough. You are too small. You will fail. Others are better than you. Life is unfair. And if you believe these thoughts, you start living in darkness. But remember, these thoughts are just clouds passing in the sky of your mind. They are not the sky itself. Even I, as a child, had these thoughts. I thought sometimes that I could not do anything right. I thought that people would never understand me. I thought that happiness was for others, not for me. But slowly I observed these thoughts, like watching clouds. I discovered that thoughts are like words in a story. Some words are true, some words are lies. If you read a story carefully, you can understand which words are true. In life, your mind is writing many stories, and it is up to you to see which stories are real and which are not. Wrong thinking also grows when you copy others without understanding. If you see someone scared, angry, or sad, and you take their fear into your mind, it becomes yours. A child can understand this easily. Imagine you see a friend afraid of the dark. If you believe that fear, you may also become afraid, but if you watch carefully and understand that your friend's fear is not yours, you can stay calm and free. This is how we learn to separate our own mind from the noise around us. Another way wrong thinking grows is by holding on to the past. If you remember mistakes over and over, your mind becomes heavy. It believes those mistakes define you, but you are not your mistakes. You are like a river that flows and changes every moment. Each day is new, each moment is new. If you let go of the past, your mind becomes light and clear. Remember, beloved one, the mind is like a knife. A knife can cut vegetables and make food, but the same knife can hurt someone if used carelessly. Your mind is the same. Wrong thinking is like using the knife carelessly. Correct thinking is like using the knife with skill. You can create beauty, joy, and clarity with it. So do not blame yourself when wrong thoughts appear. Just watch them, notice them, understand them. and slowly you will learn to guide your mind. You will see clearly which thoughts to keep and which to let go. This is how wrong thinking starts, and this is how it can be transformed. Learning the art of right thinking. Beloved one, now we come to something very beautiful. Learning to think correctly is an art, and like all arts, it can be practiced and perfected. It is not something you are born with. Even I, when I was young, did not know how to think correctly. My mind would rush in all directions, chasing fears, desires, and silly thoughts. But slowly, I discovered the secret. Right thinking begins with silence. Yes, silence. You do not need to shout, run, or read many books to think correctly. All you need is a few quiet moments each day. Sit quietly, even if it is just for a few minutes. Close your eyes, breathe slowly and deeply. Feel the air going in and out. Even a small child can do this. When the mind becomes quiet, like a calm lake, it becomes ready to see things as they are. Silence is like opening a window. Fresh air comes in, light comes in, and suddenly the mind can see clearly. After the mind is calm, you can begin to observe your thoughts. Ask them simple questions. Is this thought helping me? Is it making me happy or sad? Is it true? If a thought is kind, helpful, and true, you can hold it gently, like holding a small bird. If a thought is harmful, angry, jealous, or fearful, smile at it and let it go, like releasing a balloon into the sky. I have done this all my life. Every day, I watched my thoughts and chose which ones to keep and which ones to release. Another important part of right thinking is understanding that not every thought is yours. Sometimes your mind repeats what others have said. Sometimes it repeats stories from the past. Sometimes it imagines fears about the future. But you are not your thoughts. You are the watcher of the thoughts. You are the sky. The thoughts are only clouds. Clouds come and go, and they may look dark or bright, but the sky remains calm and vast. When you learn to watch the clouds without getting attached, you naturally begin to think correctly. Right thinking also grows when you are honest with yourself. If you see a mistake, admit it gently. If you see a fear, understand it. Do not run from it. The mind grows stronger when you face it with love and patience. I learned this slowly, step by step. I laughed at my silly thoughts. I cried when I understood something deep, and I always returned to silence, to the calm lake of my mind. A child can understand this too. Imagine your mind is a small garden. Some flowers are growing and some weeds are trying to take over. If you water the flowers and remove the weeds, your garden will bloom. This is the same with your mind. Right thinking is watering the good seeds and letting the weeds dry. Remember, beloved one, the art of right thinking is simple but powerful. It begins with Hess, silence, grows with observation, and is strengthened with honesty and love. When you practice it daily, your mind becomes calm, clear, and full of light. Then life itself becomes more beautiful, and every step you take is guided by clarity and joy, seeing life with fresh eyes. Beloved one, when you learn to think correctly, something wonderful happens. Life begins to look different. It is as if you are seeing it for the very first time. Every tree, every bird, every face, every moment becomes new and alive. Imagine looking at a garden after a long rain. The leaves shine, the flowers smell sweet, the earth feels soft under your feet. This is how life feels when your mind is clear and your thoughts are true. Even I, after many years of observing my mind and learning to think correctly, discovered this magic. I realized that the world is not against us. The world is teaching us. Every event, every person, every challenge carries a lesson. But if your mind is full of wrong thoughts, you cannot see the lesson. You only see problems, fear, and obstacles. When you think correctly, the same events feel like gifts. A problem becomes a teacher. A mistake becomes a lesson. A difficult person becomes a mirror, showing you your own mind. A child can understand this too. Imagine you fall while running. If you look at the fall with fear and anger, you may cry and be sad. But if you look with understanding, you see that falling teaches you to be careful. It teaches you balance. It teaches you patience. The fall was not the enemy, it was a friend showing you something you needed to learn. Life works the same way. Every moment can teach you, if your mind is clear and your heart is open. But when you think correctly, even ordinary things become extraordinary. The same sun that rises every day suddenly seems golden and new. The same river that flows calmly seems alive and singing. The same people around you appear kinder because you see them without judgment. You begin to understand that the world is not made of problems, but of opportunities to grow, love, and understand. I traveled and spoke to many people in my life. I told them the same truth. Again and again, life is not something to fear. Life is not something to struggle against. Life is a beautiful mystery waiting to be understood. But understanding comes only when your mind is clear and you are able to see with fresh eyes. When you see with fresh eyes, your heart opens. You feel joy without reason. You smile without effort. You live without fear. Beloved one, seeing life with fresh eyes is a gift you can give yourself every morning. Wake up and do not carry yesterday's sadness. Do not carry tomorrow's worry. Look at the world as if it is new. Notice the colors, the sounds, the smells, the faces. Notice yourself as if you are meeting yourself for the first time. This is how life blooms. This is how you begin to live fully. When your mind is calm, your thoughts are true, and your heart is open, life becomes an endless adventure. Every day is a new beginning. Every moment is a new chance to grow. Every person you meet is a new teacher. And you will walk in the world not with fear or doubt, but with wonder, joy, and a heart full of light. The gift you can give yourself. Beloved one, now we come to the most beautiful truth. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the ability to think clearly, to see life as it is, and to understand your own mind. Many people search for happiness outside themselves, in toys, games, friends, or praise. But the real happiness, the real gift is always within. It begins with your mind. When your mind is calm, clear, and honest, you carry happiness wherever you go. I have spent my whole life discovering this truth. I traveled, I spoke to many people, I laughed, I cried, and I meditated for many years. And I realized that all the gold, all the treasures, all the praise in the world cannot compare to a mind that is free, that can think clearly, that can watch itself without fear. This is a gift that cannot be taken away. Once you have it, no one can steal it from you. A child can understand this. Imagine a small lantern. If the lantern has light inside, you can walk anywhere, even in the dark, and see clearly. If the lantern is empty, even the brightest room will seem dark. Your mind is like that lantern. When you think correctly, when you watch your thoughts and choose the right ones, your lantern shines. You can see the world clearly. You can see yourself clearly. And you can walk in life without fear, confusion, or sorrow. Do not be afraid of your mind. Do not fight your thoughts. Sometimes your mind will be noisy, sometimes it will be angry or sad. This is natural. Even I had days when my mind felt like a storm, but I learned to watch the storm, to be the calm sky above it. And slowly the storm would pass, leaving the mind clearer, lighter, and brighter. You can do the same. Every time you watch your mind, you are giving yourself the gift of freedom. Remember also to be patient with yourself. Correct thinking is not something that happens in one day. It is like planting a tree. You plant a small seed, you water it, you protect it from weeds, and slowly it grows, first as a small sprout, then as a strong tree with leaves, flowers, and fruits. Your mind grows in the same way. Every kind thought, every moment of understanding, every bit of patience is watering your inner tree. Over time, it will bloom with wisdom, love, and joy, And when your mind blooms, life itself blooms with you. Every person you meet becomes easier to understand. Every challenge becomes easier to face. Every moment becomes full of joy. And you will realize the greatest secret: the mind is not something to fear. It is the most powerful friend you will ever have. If you learn to think correctly, your mind will guide you, protect you, and help you live a life full of light. So, beloved one, give yourself this gift. Watch your thoughts, learn to think correctly, be patient, be kind, and return to silence often. This is the path to freedom, peace, and happiness. This is the gift you can give yourself, and it will last forever. You will walk in the world with a heart full of joy, a mind full of clarity, and a life full of love.